Hello everyone, and welcome to my GH Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.
General Hospital spoilers: Chase's world implodes, job lost, marriage shaken, adoption at risk. General Hospital spoilers warn that Harrison Chase may endure 3 waves of tragedy. Chase has been obsessed with Michael Corinthos' collapse for what feels like forever, but that preoccupation will lead to a downfall of his own. Since Chase has been Willow Kane's biggest defender in recent months, he refuses to recognize what she's capable of. Chase convinced himself that Michael had to be guilty of shooting Drew Kane, and after examining the keys on Michael's keychain, he was even more certain. Since Chase found a key that enabled him admittance to Drew's home, he gave Nathan West a shove to check Michael's keys to see if he had access. Giving Nathan that idea will come back to haunt Chase now that Rick Lansing has divulged important news. In GH's February 19th episode, Rick pointed out that an eyewitness saw Chase handle Michael's keys. Of fact, Rick was referring about Wiley Corinthos, who indeed notified Rick about Chase getting his hands on Michael's key ring. It looks like Chase is about to find himself under heat for putting Michael up. Chase would deny it, but Dante Falconeri and others engaged in this case may have a hard time believing that considering the circumstances. It was Willow who planted the key instead, but Chase may take the fall for it despite his denials in the following episodes. Brooke Lynn Quartermain was finally ready to adopt a child with Chase, but their family plan may soon be wrecked. Chase already has a strike against him for researching on his own and making the PCPD look bad during Willow's trial. That debacle resulted in Chase getting demoted to patrol officer, but he may get flat-out fired following this keychain disaster. Chase might perhaps even face charges over this, so Brooke Lynn surely won't be thrilled at the mess he's caught up in. After Chase claims he simply tested the key and didn't actually plant it, Brooke Lynn may believe Willow framed Michael instead. Chase could jump to Willow's defense once more and add to Brooke Lynn's rage. Brooke Lynn may refuse to proceed ahead with the adoption procedure since Chase is causing so much commotion and can't even hold his job. Chase is more intent on putting Michael behind bars than anything else, so Brooke Lynn may claim that he's not ready to be a parent. This might lead to significant marriage issues for Brooke Lynn and Chase, so we have to examine whether their love will endure. In addition to perhaps getting fired and losing this opportunity to adopt, Chase may wind up divorced too. Regardless, General Hospital spoilers suggest Chase's world is going to shatter, so don't miss all the bad news to follow. GH spoilers: did Sidwell supply the drugs that downed Drew? General Hospital spoilers and updates hint a suspicion. Did Jen Sidwell supply the pills that Willow Kane used on her husband? Willow couldn't buy them from the hospital pharmacy without a paper trail, and now Sidwell wants her to take over Drew Kane's congressional seat with no previous interaction. Willow just resigned from the hospital, making things seem even more suspicious. Sidwell and Willow have had no previous interaction that's been revealed, and now he wants her to take over Drew's job in Congress, and she seems to know who he is. The cause for Drew's stroke is the medication she's injecting him with, and she recently resigned from the hospital, so how is she going to keep him under control? The source of the medications is suspect. She doesn't have anyone she's working with in the hospital lab, that we know of. Therefore, it goes to reason that Willow didn't acquire the medications from General Hospital to begin with, and Sidwell was the one responsible for the freshly awakened Maxie Jones' coma. He placed an undetectable chemical of some type in a face cream, which when it got into Maxie's system, gave her a heart attack. Might it be a similar substance Willow's injecting? Digitalis couldn't be used. It would be too apparent. Willow and Sidwell recognized Digitalis couldn't be used. It would be too apparent, and while very few know Cyrus Renault is dead, a wild goose search for him wouldn't work. There's a fair probability Sidwell's partner, crooked WSB director Ross Cullum, understands what actually happened to him, although he may have gone along with a Renault Fall Man plot. Besides, since Sam McCall and others were killed with Digitalis, GH now has testing for it as part of their protocol. Willow would know that as a nurse. The substance Willow's consuming, and presumably given by Sidwell, is untraceable, and most likely it's something with a very short half-life, or something experimental. It's possible that enzymes in Drew's system may be identified, like they were in Maxie's, but they didn't show up in Drew's testing, and a severe stroke was diagnosed. Drew was becoming problematic for Sidwell. Drew had been in Sidwell's pocket for quite a long, having been leveraged into it by Sidwell. He was starting to become problematic for Sidwell. Drew's antics at Willow's trial for his shooting were an embarrassment, and he had communicated it to someone. As soon as Willow was exonerated, she had the injection at the ready to inject Drew with nearly as soon as they came home from court. Now the two purported coincidences are finally starting to make sense. Willow injecting Drew with an unknown untraceable substance and Sidwell wanting her in Drew's congressional seat. Might the two of them have been in cahoots from the start, once Drew became inconvenient for Sidwell? Maxie's decision, Wiley shocks Willow, Alexis stunned, Michael attacks Chase on the next GH episode, a life-altering decision, a violent encounter, and rising legal peril send shockwaves across Port Charles. In the upcoming episode, fans may anticipate Maxie Jones to make her choice. Justine Turner offers a warning to Dante Falconeri. Plus, there is a nasty brawl at the Quartermaine estate. Key points: Maxie Jones must choose between Nathan West and Damian Spinelli. Spinelli panics and opens up to Lulu Spencer. Wiley Corinthos admits he's unhappy, shaking Willow's confidence. Justine Turner warns Dante about handling Michael's interrogation. Michael attacks Harrison Chase at the Quartermaine estate. Maxie Jones' choice. Let's start off with Maxie, who will have an impossible choice to make. The woman ran into Nathan West at his own grave. Now the lady will have to make a decision. Nathan wonders, what does this imply for us? So, Maxie will have to offer him an answer. Does she want to live a life with Nathan and his family again? Or is Maxie's future with Damian Spinelli? Honestly, I anticipate that she's going to stay with Spinelli. Damian Spinelli panics. Speaking about Spinelli, he has been freaking out hardcore. The man is expecting that Maxie is going to want her life with Nathan back. However, it was so long ago and so much has transpired since then. Both Maxie and Nathan are different individuals now. So it seems that Spinelli is fretting unnecessarily. I can't imagine Maxie harming him like that. In Monday's episode, Spinelli opens out to Lulu Spencer. The man claims that it's not a struggle he's willing to tackle. Wiley Corinthos' confession. General Hospital teasers for the next episode suggest that Willow Tate Kane convinces her son to speak up. However, what will Willow do when Wiley Corinthos reveals he doesn't enjoy staying at the house? Justine Turner's warning. Over at the police station, Michael Corinthos is due to be questioned regarding Drew Kane's shooting. However, they can't risk another incorrect turn, which is what Turner explains to Dante. Rick Lansing's curveball. There is also Rick Lansing, who drops by to visit Alexis Davis. The guy announces that he has news concerning Drew's attempted murder case. This is when Rick will presumably notify Alexis about Michael. Quartermaine brawl. Plus, there is a brawl at the Quartermaine mansion. As Brooke Lynn Quartermaine cries in fear, Michael strikes Harrison Chase in the face. Jocelyn Jack's agreement. Finally, Jocelyn Jacks forms an agreement. The blonde says she will drop it. General Hospital spoilers. Willow press conference shocker. Sidwell forces Laura's Congress choice. General Hospital teasers predict that Jen Sidwell may back Laura Collins into a corner shortly. A press conference is coming up that should put Willow Kane in the spotlight and leave Alexis Davis wondering what happened. GH viewers know Laura wants to provide the governor Alexis name and recommend her to take over Drew Kane's Congress seat. Alexis was hesitant of the notion at first, but she soon determined she was ready to rise to the challenge. However, Laura is forgetting that she isn't in control of her own decisions anymore. Sidwell owns Laura as long as he has those blackmail images of her with Professor Henry Hank Dalton's body in her trunk. That's presumably why Sidwell's going to bring down the law in the February 26th episode. Sidwell's going to be rough with someone, so it's easy to see him tossing some threats at Laura. Since Sidwell wants Willow to take up Drew's congressional place instead, he may make that abundantly obvious to Laura. Sidwell may warn about the implications of not playing by his rules and emphasize he needs a news conference ASAP. A press conference will actually place in the same episode, so it should be a huge day for Willow too. That may be when Laura will openly urge Willow to slide in Drew's Congress seat and continue his term. General Hospital rumors predict Alexis will experience a stunner on February 26th as well, so she may be startled when Laura reveals Willow's name instead of hers. Alexis was starting to get thrilled about the notion of becoming Congresswoman Davis and doing some good, so she won't grasp why Laura abruptly switched directions. How will Laura explain this when Alexis inevitably confronts her? Will Laura lie about having a change of heart and decide Drew's wife would be the better fit? That's one option to consider, but it's also likely Laura may choose for partial honesty and declare this is beyond her control. Laura may confess she's doing this to keep the people she loves safe and beg Alexis to accept that she can't go into the details. Whatever the case, Sidwell is a man who knows how to get what he wants, so stay tuned for the tight place Laura will land in. GH's Kathleen Gotti has a blast with co-star Bradford Anderson. The actress has set the record straight following a heated encounter with her co-star. General Hospital actor Kathleen Gotti has nothing but affection for her co-star Bradford Anderson, and she wants fans to know it. The actress has claimed that Liesl may not be a Spinelli lover, but she is a major Anderson admirer. Key takeaways: Liesl and Spinelli had a tense GH moment. Kathleen Gotti raved over working with Bradford Anderson. The actress has ideas about her alter persona. Kathleen Gotti shares sweet message about Bradford Anderson the other day. GH fans heard Liesl warn Spinelli that his time with Maxi was gone. In fact, Liesl basically suggested it's time for Spinelli to hit the road so Maxi may be with her one true love, Nathan. Following the scene, Gate utilized X to make her emotions about working with Anderson perfectly apparent. The actress reshared a fan's X post showing video from Spinelli and Liesl's sequence to laud about Liesl being messy, and Gotti being incredibly great. I always have a blast working with Bradford Anderson. Both of us frequently have stylized conversation and hence do not riff. We simply strive to give the beautifully crafted General Hospital writers material with all our hearts to amuse you GH fans. It was awkward and left fans defending, but also feeling Spinelli, she wrote. There's no denying that the moment was tense, uncomfortable, and delicious soap goodness. We admit though, the moment left us feeling awful for Spinelli and wanting to shout at Liesl, even though we adore her. It seems that Gotti too occasionally wants to anger at her role. Gotti reshared another X post where a fan indicated that Liesl is wise, but also frustrated the fan, forcing the actress to reply. Trust me, I rage at Liesl as well. Gotti shared. We can all agree that any time Liesl is on screen, fans will have opinions. General Hospital spoilers. Could Cullum really be Faison? General Hospital spoilers and updates indicate something truly crazy might be going place. With speculation swirling if Nathan West is indeed Nathan, could someone else really be his father? We're talking about Caesar Faison's considerably younger doppelganger, crooked WSB director Ross Cullum. Cullum looks like Faison at that age obviously. Cullum is considerably younger than Caesar, but much has been made of how much Andrew Hawkes resembles Anders Hove at around the same age. There has to be a purpose for that, and not only a coincidence, although others have pondered if he may be another Faison's son. Although the voice of Faison across the loudspeaker to Anna Devane may have been done using AI, what if it was not? Real versus real, Anders Hove did conduct those voiceovers remotely, and the man approaching Anna in the Windermere jail presumably wore a wig to appear like Faison. But there are also convincing grounds to assume that Cullum may possibly be Faison, in a much younger body and sans Huntington's disease. Caesar Faison was Anna Devane's DVX supervisor back years ago, when Anna did some double agent job in the DVX, the adversary espionage agency of the WSB. Caesar Faison was her supervisor, and he grew enamored with her. Before that, Anna's twin, Alexandra Devane Marek, was also in the DVX, but this was before they learned they were twins separated at birth. Being the first set of twins participating in the memory transfer trials didn't help things much, which is why Anna originally assumed Peter August was her son. But that aside, Faison did have that experience of operating the DVX, which indicates he would be able to handle the WSB as well. And although under the persona of Ross Cullum, he may be involved in finishing Caesar's last project, if he truly is Caesar, finishing it himself would betray his disguise. Caesar Faison got to know his daughter Britt Westbourne very well. The insinuation was that Faison didn't have a lot to do with his daughter when Britt Westbourne was a youngster, and Liesl Albrecht concealed Nathan, for his own safety. But in spite of that, Caesar did come to know Britt extremely well as an adult during a time when Britt was in danger. They went on the run together for a length of time. So because obviously, he can no longer trust Liesl to accomplish his last assignment, Britt would be his go-to, although she may not know his actual identity, it's kept hidden. As for how Caesar Faison went from being a brain in a jar to becoming a version of himself in his prime, it may have been through cloning. As a matter of fact, the first finished project may have been the Huntington's disease cure, with Caesar alias Cullum having been the guinea pig. General Hospital's Kelly Thiebaud confronted Steve Burton over abrupt exit, confesses major letdown over Britt and Jason. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Kelly Thiebaud just shared what truly transpired behind the scenes when Steve Burton announced his leave. Thiebaud was startled by Burton's choice, so she expressed her actual emotions about it in a recent interview. TV Insider posted an early footage from Maurice Benard's State of Mind podcast, which features Thiebaud as a guest on the forthcoming February 22nd episode. In that footage, Thiebaud made some huge revelations about how she felt about Burton's leaving. After Kelly Thiebaud stated she was very shocked when she learned Steve Burton's leave plan, she also acknowledged that she went to Burton and asked for an explanation. So I confronted Steve about it and he gave me his reasons. I know what that feels like, but the other side of that is I feel let down. You know, I thought we had time together, Thibault said. Thibault went on to explain that it had been really hard, and that she was sad that Burton was departing. That's so, Thibault also understood the reality that Burton had more important things going on than work and needed this personal time. He's gotta go live his life, and I wish him nothing but the best, Thibault added. Although Thibault said she loved Burton and that she'd miss him horribly, she knew that you've got to go when you feel the need to go. Of course, social media erupted at Kelly Thibault's comments. There was obviously a mixed reaction to Thibault's genuine opinions on the topic. Some fans understand why Thibault would be sad considering how this will affect Brit's love story with Jason. Other admirers evidently thought Thibault was making it all about her and that her tone about the whole thing was weird. Although Steve Burton insists he's coming back in the summer, there was a feeling of finality to Thibault's words about him. It raises worries about Burton's long-term future at GH as Thibault made it sound like his leaving was the end of the world. Regardless, General Hospital spoilers predict Jason and Brit's love story is about to be interrupted in a dramatic manner, so keep with us for more info on what's coming. General Hospital next 2 weeks, Sidwell's control, Willow's juggling act, Michael's fury and Valentine at risk. General Hospital spoilers for the next 2 weeks, February 23rd to March 6th, state that Jen Sidwell will exercise his authority as Willow Kane juggles all elements of her life. Michael Corinthos will also vent his vengeance while Valentine Cassadine might be in much greater peril than before. During the week of February 23rd to 27th, Maxie Jones will struggle to figure out which man she wants as she continues her talk with Nathan West. Damian Spinelli will also speak out to Lulu Spencer about his idea that Maxie's going to select Nathan in the end. Following Michael's interrogation at the PCPD, he'll confront Harrison Chase and deck him in front of Brooklyn Quartermain. Since Wiley Corinthos witnessed Chase with Michael's keys, Michael may fling charges at Chase about setting him up with a key to Drew Kane's apartment. ADA Justine Turner will chat with Dante Falconeri on the need of doing things properly this time as they can't afford any more missteps in Drew's case. After Cody Bell reads the remainder of Molly Lansing Davis' work, he'll find she was accurate about the progression of the character he was based on. Cody will throw up some support and likely persuade Molly to press forward with the book contract. As for Giovanni Gio Palmieri, he'll get some fantastic news. Could Gio find out that Emma Scorpio Drake is returning home sooner than he expected? After Ross Cullum quizzes Jason Morgan, Jason will bring Britt Westbourne up to speed as they decide their next step. Jason will meet up with Sonny Corinthos to offer the latest Cullum facts as well. Once Sidwell shows off his harsh side, he may push Laura Collins to radically reconsider her plans. Laura was expecting to offer Alexis Davis the suggestion when it comes to replacing Drew in Congress, but Sidwell may require that she divulge Willow's name at her forthcoming news conference. Alexis will get an unpleasant surprise and may question Laura in the aftermath, but she won't get the complete story. Once Lucas Jones finds some surprising facts and presses Marco Rios for additional details, their relationship may be tested once more. Back with Britt, she'll face Liesl Albrecht's request for aid. Lucy Coe will also send off some alarm bells and end up having to explain herself, so Sidwell could discover her snooping. During the week of March 2nd to 6th, viewers may witness the groundwork being prepared for Jason's eventual leave. Cullum will remain a threat to Jason's safety along with others in Port Charles. Over with Willow, she'll have a lot to handle. Willow will have to keep giving Drew that medicine to keep him locked in as she spends more time with the kids and navigates this new Congresswoman road. Of course, Alexis Davis might figure out that Willow must have been the one who put the key on Michael's keychain instead of Chase. As Willow starts to display her true colors, Alexis may get even more concerned, especially once Willow's slipping in that Congress seat. Finally, Valentine and Carly Spencer's partnership might be under peril. There have been some indications regarding Rocco Falconeri maybe disclosing Valentine's refuge by mistake, but we'll just have to see how it all goes down. General Hospital spoilers predict the next 2 weeks will offer some highs and lows, so stay tuned. Laura wants her to finish out Drew's run in Congress. And her visit to Drew was particularly strange. She realized he was trying to tell her something, but he could only blink his eyelids. Alexis also knows that Willow is the one who shot Drew twice in the back. So why is she suddenly skeptical? This may be about Alexis finding out that Willow's up for the same job she is. Finally, Gio and Jocelyn discuss Emma. We haven't seen Emma in a minute. Because her grandmother's mental health is in such a horrible state, Emma felt she needed to go home and break the news to her mother. And then maybe they would go visit Anna in the institution in France. Gio wanted to go with her, but she stated she needed to do this alone. If Gio has to talk to Joss about his girlfriend, maybe he is feeling worried about his bond with Emma. Especially if it comes out that he hasn't heard from Emma since she fled Port Charles. Is that what's going on here?
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.